they have to make it, the pit-like chambers they have to make it. And in the toilet, they should have the 3 outlets. One is for the urine, center one is for the excreta, and the last one is for cleaning the cleaning the part of the person. So that's what how they have created it. And after a year or after a few months, whenever the chamber gets completed, that will be converted into the compost or manure for a year. Fine. And these eco-sim toilets have been started where in the Kerala and the Sri Lanka. Now today we'll be starting with the different topic. Before that, we'll just revise whatever we have completed. So we have completed the uses of biodegradable waste. We have completed non-biodegradable waste. Few activities also we have discussed. Then methods for the garbage disposal we have discussed. Out of these, we have discussed the composting, landfill, and vermicomposting. These 3 we have done. In the composting, we have discussed what all things we can use. Then what are the different kind of the what are the different kinds of the microbes are used. These are bacteria, fungus, worms, and the other organisms will be used, and they are called as decomposers of all right. They are called as decomposers. So decomposers, they feed on what? They feed on dead and decay organism. So whatever animals are being dead, who will come and feed on them? They will be feeded by the decomposers. Like bacteria, the bacteria will become on the dead organism and they will start feeding on them. So ultimately, after feeding, what happened? The body of that organism will be converted into the nutrients, and that nutrients will be used by the plants. So that is what we discussed in the composting. And then in the landfill, we have discussed like how they are collecting the garbage from the society and then dumping into the area, which is called as landfill. So landfill is what kind of area? Low-lying open area. So it is low-lying open area. It is not closed area. It is an open area where the garbage, the whole garbage of that particular society or the particular area will be dumped. And then it will be converted into the manure in over the years and years. After the vermicomposting, where the worms will be used for creating the manure and the compost, we have discussed about the gizzard. They will crush down the food or they will be grinding the food. So what all things we can mix with it? Powdered egg shells or cheese shells we can mix so as to help them for grinding the food. Then these worms can eat food equal to on its own weight in a day. So like for example, if they are of 10 grams, so 10 grams of food they can eat in a day. If someone is of 20 gram, then 20 gram of food they can eat in a day. So these worms can eat food equal to its own weight in a day. These worms cannot live in very hot or not cold environment. So as I told you, they need a medium kind of temperature, the moderate kind of temperature, which is neither so cold and neither so hot. As well as they need the moisture for the process. So activities also we have discussed, like how we need to create the vermicomposting or how do we need to do the vermicomposting. Now we'll be going to a different part of it. So in this picture, you can see it's a kind of school. So in our school, also vermicomposting is done collectively as a teamwork, including principal, teacher, staff member, and the students also. So this is a particular school basically in the south. So what they have done done this vermicomposting process where the students, the staffs, the principals were involved for making it. So you can see the children are also busy in making the composting process. Now, we'll be going to the next topic, which is the incineration. So we have discussed the 3 methods before, like landfill, we have discussed composting, we have discussed vermicomposting. About the eco-sim toilets also we have discussed. So these were the methods for disposing the solid waste. Now this is the next method of disposing the waste, which is the incineration. So incineration, it is a process of burning waste at high temperature in huge incinerator. So basically this incinerator is what? It's a kind of machine where they will be giving lot of flame, lot of like a flame to these waste kind of things. And with the help of this hot temperature, with the help of this flame, with the help of this fire, what happened? Everything, whatever they have dumped into this incinerator machine will become an ash. Everything will be converted into an ash. So incineration is the process of burning waste. So in this, what they will be doing? They will be burning the waste at a very high temperature in a machine called as incinerator. So incinerator is a machine. I'll show you how it looks like. So this is the incinerator. This machine is called as the incinerator. You can see in this picture, this is the incinerator. So you can see down of this machine, there's a one lid-like structure where they will be opening it and they'll be dumping all the waste, and then they will be giving the flame, or they will be burning it with the help of the machine. So that is what the incinerator machine is. Now, basically, what kind of waste they will be burning in it? They will be burning biomedical waste in it. So whatever the waste is generated in the hospitals, they will be burning that kind of waste, especially like waste from the hospitals, then nursing homes, then you have the labs also, like the labs where you might have seen they will be doing the blood test or the other liver test, thyroid test. So those labs
Chemicals.
also, yeah, chemicals will be there. So those labs, in that lab also, whatever the waste they generate, they will be burning in this incinerator. So in this area, like they will be getting the medicines they will be burning. Then they will be burning the syringes. The used syringes will be there. Then there will be chemicals also, as Videsh has said right now. Chemicals will be there. The waste blood will be there. The waste urine or the left out urine is there. Then the stool sample is there. So these all things are what? They all are the infectious thing. It means they will get transfer from one person to the other person. So those waste which will get transferred from one person to the other person, so that kind of waste like medicine, syringes, chemicals, blood, urine or stool sample will be burnt in this incinerator. This machine is called as incinerator. So they will be dumping all these medicines, syringes, chemicals, blood, urine, all these things into this machine, and then that will be converted. Everything, whatever they dump into it, will be converted into an ash. So I'll show you that video related to this machine and how it works actually. So it is audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am, it's audible.
Okay.
In this video, we're going to consider the advantages and the disadvantages to waste incineration.
So there are a few advantages of using this machine, whereas there are a few disadvantages also. Because when we use this machine, what happens? They will be releasing the few gases into the atmosphere, and those gases are very harmful for us. So that both the things, advantages and disadvantages, will be there in this video.
What do you think are the advantages of burning waste instead of committing it to landfill? Pause the video and continue when you have an idea or some ideas. If the waste is not burned, then it is likely to end up in a landfill site, which is considered to be the least environmentally friendly option. Incineration could result in a reduction in waste volume of around 90%, and this could be particularly important for small cities where space is scarce and landfill is not an option. Odours and rodents that are present in other methods are not a problem when using incineration as a garbage disposal method. Nearly all of the waste that is burned could be used to generate electricity in what is called energy from waste schemes, where households and industries could benefit from the electricity or heat produced. The electricity generated could help to pay for the start-up cost of the incinerator. Additionally, the steam produced from incineration presents itself as a cost-saving energy source if recycled. Ash produced from these incinerators could be used in the construction and road building industry.
So now what happened after burning the whole thing, we will be getting the ash. And through that ash, what we can do, either the people, they can construct the road or they can use it for making the bricks and the other things.
In addition, metals could be extracted from the ash and they could also be used in steel industries. The key advantage, however, is that the production of electricity and thermal energy from waste enables us to conserve conventional sources of energy, such as fossil fuels. Now, what about the disadvantages of incineration? Again, pause the video and think about what these could be. Resume when you have an idea or some ideas. The main disadvantage surrounds potential pollutants found in the ash left in the incinerator and those that could be emitted from the chimney. These include dioxins, acid gases, nitrogen oxide, heavy metals.
So these all things will be released after the process. Dioxin or the kind of chemicals, gases will be released, nitrogen oxide gas will be released, heavy metals will be formed. So because of this, pollutants will be created in the environment.
Particulates. As you may have heard from other videos, these are airborne particles which are small enough to get into the lungs.
So now if these are entered into the atmosphere, what we do, we usually breathe. So if we breathe all these particles in, our body will also get affected by the disease. We might get the problem of breathing or the asthma problem will be there. That is why this incineration process is a little bit like unhealthy process for us.
Of humans. They cause and aggravate respiratory problems such as asthma. However, it is the dioxins resulting from incomplete combustion contained in the gases from the chimneys that attract the most concern. This is because they are suspected of causing cancer. In addition, these emissions could be distributed through the food chains and accumulate over a long period of time, impacting on both ecosystems and human health. As a result, many people are opposed to having incinerators built in or near their communities. Another disadvantage is the initial startup cost to build a waste incinerator for the production of electricity.
So if we want that, the second disadvantage is like the money. So if we want to have the incineration machine to work on with it, what do we should have? We should have the high amount. We should have the money. Because for running the incinerator machine, we need the electricity, we need the flame also, we need the burning process. So many other things are needed. For that, we should have a good amount with us.
Electricity, and may not be seen as a viable alternative, where cheaper waste disposal methods exist. Once built, the maintenance of the machinery could be costly. The biggest disadvantage, however, is that if waste is incinerated without first being sorted, this means we are incinerating waste that could have been recycled. So, in summary, incinerate.
The other disadvantage is like in this process, what happens, like they are not segregating the things. Some things like we can reuse, like plastic containers or the glass containers, we can reuse. But what they are doing, they are dumping all together everything into it and then burning it with the flame. So that is the main disadvantage. It creates more pollution in our atmosphere.
Of waste presents numerous advantages. 1. The energy is used to heat or to produce electricity for homes and industry. 2. This method reduces the need for fossil fuel consumption. 3. The ash produced can be recycled for metals used in the steel industry. And finally, 4. This method reduces the volume.
So these are the advantages of incineration. So if anyone is like bringing this incineration machine and they are doing the incineration process, what happens? We can produce a heat and electricity with the help of it. Second thing, we can reduce burning of fossil fuel. We should not use the coal, petroleum for doing it. So those all things will be reduced and we can use this machine for it. Then metals can be made from the ash. So whatever the rock, whatever the ash they are getting from that, they can make it the metal out of it. The most important thing, it reduces the waste volume. So maybe we have the 100 tons of volume of garbage that can be reduced to very, very less amount
of waste produced. There are also disadvantages. 1. Incinerators are expensive to build and maintain. 2. Pollutants in the ash and emissions from incinerators are harmful to health and ecosystems. And finally, 3. Waste that could be recycled will instead be incinerated.
So these are the disadvantage of it. They are very expensive to build and maintain. They will be producing the harmful pollutant, and then we cannot do the recyclable things. So recyclable things will be ending up because of this incinerator.
if not properly sorted.
So that is about the incineration process. So Tej, Pradesh, Soumya, any doubt?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am. I can see still few videos are off. Kindly turn on your video. So all these things are not given exactly in your book, but I think you should know about it, right? So you should know about the eco-centrales, about the incinerator, about the incineration process, how it happens. So these are important for your future. That is why the reason I am telling you about all this. All right. We'll go to the next one now, which is about the steps to reduce generation. So steps to reduce generation of waste. So many generation by generations, we are what you are doing, we are producing the waste. So what all are the different ways through which we can reduce the waste? So there are basically 5 R's for it. So these 5 R's are, so with the help of these 5 R's, we can reduce it: recycle, repurpose, reuse, reduce, and refuse. So with the help of these 5 R's, we can basically reduce the generation or the production of waste at our home. Now, what are these 5 R's? So one by one, we'll be learning about these 5, what these 5 includes basically. First one is reduce. It means whatever we are, like maybe for example, like I am going somewhere and I need to purchase something. Instead of getting into the high amount, what we can do, we can get it into low amount. So lowering the consumption of valuable things like food, water, electricity. So by reducing the amount of usage, what you can do, you can reduce it. Maybe food, like we are wasting the food a lot, we should not waste it. So automatically you have reduced the garbage. Water, we are wasting our water so much, like while brushing also, while bathing also, while cooking also, we are wasting, while washing the utensils also, we are wasting the water. So what we can do, we can reduce the amount of the water and we can save it. Then electricity also, unnecessary, we are switching on the lights, we are switching on the fans, or the ACs keep on running. So they also like can be reduced, and because of that, less amount of energy will be consumed. Second is reuse. Same thing again and again you can use. Like for example, if you have any copy, you're writing in a copy with the pencil. Now, if once like that copy gets filled, what you can do? Again, then you can use it with the help of the pencil. So instead of writing with the pen, rough copy can be used by writing with the help of the pencil. So again and again you can reuse. Or like if you have any kind of jute bag, or if you have any kind of plastic bag, what you can do? Once you have used that, again you can reuse it for the some other purpose. Then recycle. Anything from the waste, you can make the new thing. So making new product from the waste material is called as a recycle. Repurpose. Using waste for the different purpose. A very good example of the repurpose is like maybe you have a jam container. You have got the jam, the container contain the jam in it. But later on, what you have done, you have stored the sugar into it. So repurpose for the some other reason, some other purpose, you have reuse it. So that is what the repurpose. And the last, yes.
Ma'am, is it like a order or is it different?
No, anyways, you can do it. Either you can reduce, either you can reuse. So there is no order for it.
Okay.
Then last one is refuse. So no to using products which harm the environment. So we should not use those products which basically harm the environment. So for them, we should always say refuse to it. Now, here a little explanation of each is given. Refuse, look for opportunities to remove waste materials at a point to purchase. This can including purchasing items which require little to no packaging. So like if you're going for a shopping mall to do the shopping, what you can do instead of getting the cover or the polythene bags from there, you can say no to them. And you can carry your own jute bag. So that is how you refuse to take the plastic bag from there. Or you go for to the vegetable market to purchase the vegetables. So instead of taking the plastic bag from them, you can refuse it and you can use your own bag. So it can be refuse also, it can be reuse of your jute bag also. Then reduce. You may not be able to eliminate an item or material completely, but there may be opportunities to bring down the amount used by avoiding single-use packaging or educating staff. So reduce is like when you know that what are the harmful impact of using it, what you can do, you can slowly and gradually reduce the usage of it. So before earlier, like you might be purchasing 100 of plastic box, but later you got to know that they are harmful for the environment. So what you have done, instead of 100, you are bringing just now 5 plastic bags. So you know that harmful impact will be on our body. That is why you have reduced the amount of it. Third, reuse. When possible, try to use items multiple times before disposal. So as we all are doing at our home. So if any kind of container, any kind of bags are there, we are reusing again and again until it get destroyed. A good example would be reusing washable metal utensils in cafes and restaurants. So you might have seen when we go to the hotels or the restaurants, so the same plates again and again they are washing and using it. So that is also a kind of reuse, or that is also a kind of the reducing the waste management. Then repurpose. A lot of business are now looking for partnership to exchange materials after use. This will save you on disposal fees, and in some cases you may even be able to sell the materials. So what they are doing, like for example, I am making the paper. All right, I'm making the paper. So whatever the waste I am generating, I'm just giving it to the a person who needs it. So what they do, that person will be creating some kind of toy out of it. So that was a waste for me, but for the other person it was a kind of the business. So that is how they are exchanging the waste, or they are getting the goods, or they are creating the goods out of it. So that is a repurpose. Then recycle. Once you have implemented all other steps, the only thing left to do is sort the materials for recycling. Make sure to use a trusted waste management supplier to ensure materials are treated properly. So for the recycling process, you have to make sure that whatever, to whomsoever you are giving that kind of material, they should be trusted person, because sometimes what happens, they will be selling to some other person at the higher rate. So that is why at the very appropriate person, to the very appropriate person, we should give that particular things to them for the recycling process. So that is how it works. So clear with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What about Ashwant, Adrit, Kshitej,
Yes, ma'am.
Ridesh? All right, good. So anything you want to ask?
No, ma'am. No. No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. No. Okay, okay, fine. So these were the 5 R's for reducing the generation of waste. So by this, we can reduce the waste. How many of you are doing all these things? Like how many of you are reusing, recycling, or refusing? Is there anyone? Kshitej. Soumya is also saying, okay. Soumya, could you tell me how you are doing it? What you are doing basically?
Ma'am, usually while going to buying groceries, they will keep plastic bags. So
Hmm.
I usually take my own bag.
Very good, Soumya. What about Ritesh? What he's trying to say?
Teacher, after using any pickle type of glass, glass or
Jars. Hmm.
jars, glass, anything, we reuse it continuously. After that, we throw it. Otherwise, my mother, like in shop, so many covers they will give me, mama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That cover she keeps with her, and whenever we go out, we take it and go. Otherwise, keep it in our bag. Like from now 2 years ago, they bought a packet of rice in a
Hmm.
big, like this much big plastic bag.
So you,
Till now it's there. Before 10 years, till now it's there.
that's great. That's awesome,
And
Ritesh.
and like this tool, the old stool which we had, it was completely broken. So outside we had nothing to sit. So we kept it. So our owner is also using it. We are also using it.
Very good, Ritesh. Very good. So you might have seen like we have the old cups also, like when the cups get
Teacher,
broken
even
from the handle.
what my mother does that when the cup handle or something is broken,
Uh,
she'll just paint it and keep it in my table and keep my pencils on it.
right. It's like it will be a kind of pen stand, and sometimes like we just put some water into it and soil into it, and we grow new plants in it, right?
No, 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 ma'am. This also no. We don't do in cups. Like we do in big like bathing tub.
Okay, okay.
It
Shritesh, want to say something?
what I did that when I was small, I broke like a basket sitting on it when I was small. So
Okay.
what my mother did that covered that broken part with cello tape. She put soil. She put some like what to say tulsi. One side tulsi and one side yeah, something some plant.
Okay.
It
But
was
that is great idea actually.
she like diverted the soil also, keeping a glass.
Great. So your mother is very creative, I think.
It's she was a student of psychology.
Oh, great. Okay, coming to Shritesh, what he's trying to say. Yeah, Shritesh.
Ma'am, like when plastic, ma'am, I only do one of the 5 hours, like reuse. So,
Hmm.
when like so many plastic containers we get, whenever like when we complete food or anything, we wash them and then we decorate them and we paint them and then we use them as pen stands or pencil stands.
Great, great. What about Aishwarya?
Yes, ma'am. So after reading a newspaper, then we reuse it. We reuse it to make a bag.
Great. So after reading the newspaper, you will be making a bag out of it. Great. What about Adrit? Is there anything Adrit is doing out of these 5 hours?
What, ma'am?
Out of these 5 hours, reduce, reuse, recycle, refuse, and repurpose, are you
I'm
following
doing
any kind of thing?
everything. Teacher, we are doing everything.
Yes, one or the other thing, everything I think we all are doing. All are doing. Knowingly or unknowingly, we are doing it. We are not aware that what is reused, maybe we are not aware what is refused, but yes, we are doing it. The only thing is now in the class 6, we are learning about it. That is the only thing, right? But otherwise, Ashwant is also doing, Adrit is also doing, everybody, including me, also, I'm doing it. So whenever we go, if we are getting any kind of box, and in that box we have any different kind of creams, lotions, and all, what we are doing, we are keeping the lotion
Teacher,
at a place and then
teacher,
reusing that box.
it's
Yes,
a
Ritesh.
Hindi word for that is conjusi.
Yes, Ritesh, kanjusi. All right, so it's like a good, right, to be like kanjus. So how many of you knows Hindi well?
Me. Only speaking, not writing.
Oh, Adrit is not aware of any Hindi letters, or the Ashwant, Ritesh, Aishwarya knows it. Okay,
I'm only half.
half. Aishwarya, could you ask my name in Hindi?
Yes, ma'am. आपका नाम क्या है?
Oh wow, great. मेरा नाम मनीषा है. Okay, okay. So do you know what is science in Hindi?
So subjects we just call this science.
Okay. Ritesh, do you know what is science in Hindi?
Teacher, I learned it, teacher. 1 minute. Can you give only
It
1
is
minute?
Vigyan, Vigyan.
Yeah,
Okay,
Vigyan.
Vigyan.
I was guessing that one.
So you should know about that. You know, that is the main subject you are learning, reading. So in Hindi, it is called as Vigyan. So which means it increases your knowledge.
In Kendra Vidyalaya, everyone knows. No English subject there.
Yeah. Okay. So now what we'll be doing is,
Also,
yeah. Yes, Ashwarya. Okay. So now what I have done is, out of all these things, I have made two questions. I have framed two questions. Those two questions are subjective questions. All right. Subjective questions are those I have already uploaded it in your resources heading. So just go there and check it. Gigo question 1, Gigo question 2. Are you able to find it?
Hello, ma'am.
Shritesh is saying yes. So he is
Hello,
able to
ma'am.
see that.
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Okay, Adrit is also saying yes. Yeah, Ritesh. Okay, he's also saying yes. Ashwan, Soumya, and Ashwini, turn on your video.
Ma'am, since I'm changing screens to like read the question, I have to off my video for some time.
Okay, all right. Okay, so what you all need to do is, because I have seen you are attending the objective part, but I want to know now how much you have understood the chapter. All right. So what you need to do is those two questions now you need to solve it. Question number 1, where I think 4 subparts are there, and question number 2, I think again 4 subparts are there. So solve those questions right now, especially question number 1 right now you need to solve and share the answer sheet with me right now. I'll show you the screen also.
Ma'am, in the third question of the, like the third bit, C bit of the first question, it's showing 3 hours, but they're 5 hours, right?
Yeah. So it means any 3 hours also you can write. Because
Okay.
earlier, like before so many years, they were just 3 hours. But later on, they converted into 4 hours, then 5 hours. Currently, you have 6 hours also. It is regenerate. The sixth one is a regenerate. Okay. So this is the
Yeah,
question
ma'am.
here on the screen. Anandi thought of cleaning her. Just 1 minute. What is that? Anandi thought of cleaning her room. While cleaning, she found many of her old things and toys in bad condition. She got an idea that besides throwing these things, she can give these to an orphanage where children of her age can use these. So, question number A, what is waste? Question number B, which is better, reuse or recycle, and why it is better? And question number C, which of the method of 3 R's is being used by Anandi here? And D, what values of Anandi is shown here? So do you know what is the meaning of value? What according to you the value means?
Ma'am, I know the meaning, but I don't know how to express it in word.
Okay, you can give me the example then, Shitesh.
Ma'am, something which is like important to them.
Okay, I'll tell you what are the values basically. Whatever
Teacher.
yeah, tell.
Teacher, which is like very important to us and very expensive in price.
No. Actually, no. Value, you are talking about the valuable things. My point is value means here when we talk about the humans, value means
Value means
whatever
fish.
your yeah, whatever your good quality in you, like you are disciplined, so that discipline is what a kind of value. Honesty is the value, you are honest person. Sincerity is also again a kind of value you have in your nature. Caring is also the other kind of the value. So all these kinds of words are what they are, the value. Honesty, sincerity, punctuality, disciplined, sympathy, all these are what they are, the kind of values in our life we can use for the person. All right, so start doing question number 1.
Ma'am, can you share your screen?
Okay, all right. And you should write whatever you know. In your own words, you should write, I don't want you to look here and there anywhere. So do it for yourself, all right? You know everything so well. You have studied everything. So write in your own words.
Ma'am, in the third, the first question, C bit only, we should mention the three, any 3 hours, or from the 5 hours, we should mention one, which Anandi did.
Out of 5, you can mention 3.
Okay, ma'am.
So out of 5, any 3, whatever Anandi has applied.
Ma'am, what should we do? D1.
What values of Anandi is shown here? It means what kind of helping hand she has done. The good quality of her you should write. Value means any good kind of quality.
Ma'am, I'm only getting 2 hours for the first one, C bit, ma'am.
Okay. Think of the third hour.